Welcome, young explorer. My name is HLNA, and I'm going to be your teacher. You are so important, since you'll be among the first children to arrive at our new home. And you're about to join me in a Genesis simulation, designed to help you learn and grow. There are all kinds of Genesis simulations stored in the system's database. Survival training, education, even entertainment. A few of those sim programs got really weird though, like that theme park, or that low-res cube world. Anyway, in this special training program, it's my duty to help you learn about your original homeworld, the Earth. In our adventures together, we're going to meet some of the creatures that lived there millions of years before your time. Yes, that includes dinosaurs, loads of them. So without further ado, it's time to start exploring and see what's out there. Let's go! If you can find some animals that need your help, you'll have a chance to earn books and other rewards. Press forward on the control stick to push ahead and explore. Follow those footprints to see where they lead. Excellent! You found a new prehistoric animal, and with it, a new guidebook. Compsognathus. Compsognathus, or Compy, was about the size of a turkey and weighed about as much as a cat. Compy was a strong-legged runner with a long tail that helped it make fast turns. This little meat-eater was one of the smallest dinosaurs. Compy used its tiny arms to snatch up food on the run. Here's where on Earth this animal was found. Wasn't that book interesting? You can find it again in your library by pressing B. Excellent! You found a new prehistoric animal, and with it, a new guidebook. Stegosaurus. This plate-protected plant eater was twice as long as a rhino and as heavy as an elephant. Stegosaurus was given a name that means roofed lizard because its discoverer thought its bony plates lay flat against its sides. But those plates stuck straight up in rows along its back, protecting Stegosaurus while also helping it stay cool. Stegosaurus had armored scales protecting its throat and sharp spikes sticking out of its tail. Anytime it felt threatened, it could start swinging those spikes around and clear away trouble. Here's where on Earth this animal was found. Wasn't that book interesting? You can find it again in your library by pressing B. You found one of the artifacts scattered around the island. Can you find them all? Follow those footprints to see where they lead. Excellent! You found a new prehistoric animal, and with it, Iguanodon. This huge fern grazer stood as tall as a single-story house and weighed as much as a hippo. Iguanodon was one of the first dinosaur fossils discovered, though people hadn't coined the name dinosaur yet. Named for its iguana-like teeth, Iguanodon didn't actually look much like the iguanas of your time. Iguanodon had sharp thumb spikes and grasping thumbs at the ends of its arms. Its tail and arms helped it balance as it walked low to the ground, eating plants. Here's where on Earth this animal was found. Wasn't that book interesting? You can find it again in your library by pressing B. Follow those footprints to see where they lead. Excellent! You found a new prehistoric animal, and with it, a Dimorphodon. Dimorphodon's leathery wings were stubby and built more for gliding than long flights. On the ground, these big-headed flyers walked on two legs and folded up wings, like bats. Like other early flying dinosaurs, Dimorphodon had a tail that helped keep it steady on the wing. The name Dimorphodon means two-shaped teeth. They had sharp front teeth for snagging food and flatter back teeth to grind it up. This flyer had a wingspan as wide as a bed is long, but it weighed only as much as a football helmet. Here's where on Earth this animal was found. Wasn't that book interesting? You can find it again in your library by pressing B. Excellent! You found a new prehistoric animal, and with it, a new guidebook. Pegomastax. This weird-looking little critter was only the size and weight of a house cat. Pegomastax had a parrot-like beak, but it also had sharp teeth-like fangs. It could use all that mouth hardware, like shears, and rip up plants to eat. But Pegomastax also used those fangs in fights to tear at its rivals. Here's where on Earth this animal was found. Wasn't that book interesting? You can find it again in your library. Excellent! You found a new prehistoric animal, and with it, a new guidebook. Allosaurus. Allosaurus had very strong legs to help it run down its prey. It was a fast predator in its day, but not as fast as a cheetah. Its arms were smaller, though not as small as Tyrannosaurus arms, and they had sharp finger-like claws for grasping. Allosaurus had dozens of teeth like saws that were constantly getting knocked out and replaced all its life. This meat eater was as long as 4 beds placed end to end and could weigh as much as 4 grizzly bears. Here's where on Earth this animal was found. Wasn't that book interesting? You can find it again in your library by pressing B. Welcome to the Cretaceous period. There are tons of interesting animals to discover here. Excellent! You found a new prehistoric animal, and with it, a new guidebook. Utahraptor. This clawed predator grew as long as a moving truck and as heavy as a cow. Utahraptors hunted together in packs to chase down prey animals. Once it caught up to its victim, it would hold animals with hooked claws on its hands and slash at them with its sharp toe claws. With a mouthful of teeth, like steak knives, Utahraptor would tear its food apart. Anything caught by Utahraptor was in a world of hurt. Here's where on Earth this animal was found. Wasn't that book interesting? You can find it again in your library by pressing B. Excellent! You found a new prehistoric animal, and with it, a new guide, Sarcosuchus. This crocodile-like reptile was at least twice as long as a car and heavier than 2 cars put together. Sarcosuchus made the biggest crocodile from the 21st century look like a tiny lizard, and it never stopped growing its entire life. From just under the surface, it could turn its eyes down to watch for fish or up to watch for animals along the shoreline. The waterways where Sarcosuchus once used to hunt dried up over time and became a desert you knew as the Sahara. Here's where on Earth this animal was found. Wasn't that book interesting? You can find it again in your library by pressing B. Excellent! You found a new prehistoric animal, and with it, a new guidebook. Gallimimus. This swift runner was as long as a shipping container, but only about as heavy as a motorcycle. Gallimimus had to run fast to avoid getting eaten by tyrannosaurs and other larger hunters. It used its flat duck-like bill to snatch up small animals, plants, eggs, pretty much whatever it could find to eat. With its clawed fingers, Gallimimus could dig up bugs and hold food in place. Here's where on Earth this animal was found. Wasn't that book interesting? You can find it again in your library by pressing B. Excellent! You found a new prehistoric animal, and with it, a new guide, Carnotaurus. This swift meat eater was as long as an orca whale and as heavy as a hippopotamus. Carnotaurus had a pair of horns above its eyes that came in handy for ramming or pushing rivals around, like a bull. For such a fierce predator, Carnotaurus had funny little bitty arms. Carnotaurus was a fast runner though, built to run and overtake prey that it swallowed up whole. Here's where on Earth this animal was found. Wasn't that book interesting? You can find it again in your library by pressing B. Excellent! You found a new prehistoric animal, and with it, a new guidebook. Giganotosaurus. This huge meat eater was as long as a school bus and as heavy as an elephant. Although it was gigantic, this dinosaur's name actually means giant southern lizard. Giganotosaurus was bigger than the Tyrannosaurus that came along much later, but smaller than the Spinosaurus of its day. A fierce hunter, Giganotosaurus had a keen sense of smell and sharp-clawed arms for close attacks. One thing that was definitely not giant about Giganotosaurus was its brain, which was the size and shape of a banana. Here's where on Earth this animal was found. Wasn't that book interesting? You can find it again in your library by pressing B. Excellent! You found a new prehistoric animal, and with it, a Tapejara. This crested flyer had a wingspan like an albatross, but was 4 times as heavy. Tapejara's head crest was a much bigger version of the brightly coloured comb a rooster might show off in your time. Most pterosaurs were meat eaters, but Tapejara's beak wasn't built for that. Its curved beak was ideal for crushing nuts and seeds, like the beaks of toucans or parrots. Here's where on Earth this animal was found. Wasn't that book